Welcome inside the News 13 studios, and thank you for joining us for our high school football Blitz preview show. I'm Chris Parks.
And I'm Kopp. Everything you need to know about the upcoming 2019 season, all packed into that next 30 minutes.
Yep, we'll take a look at the top teams and players from all across our region.
Along with all the new head coaches, there's a lot of them. But first, a look back on 2018. Hurricane Florence certainly threw a wrench into things for many teams, especially along the beach.
Yeah, a memory that many people want to forget. Florence pummeled the Carolina coast in September with that heavy rain and flooding and wiped out school practices and games for nearly a month on the coast and a few weeks in the PD, and many Horry County schools played just 8 regular season games.
Now, Myrtle Beach was one of those teams that could not practice for a good chunk of September, but when things resumed, the Seahawks, they soared in 2018 behind Luke Doty at quarterback and a strong defense that caused havoc for the opposition. Chris takes a look back at that championship team and what's in store in 2019.
After a slow start in the first half of the 4A state title game, Myrtle Beach and their offense cranked it up in the second half, scoring 3 straight touchdowns in the third quarter to upend Greer 37-21 en route to the school's 8th championship.
Well, it was great. You know, we had a little bit of adversity there at the end of the season, and I'm really proud of our kids for the way they handled that. You know, going to Hartsville and getting beaten in the region championship game, and then going back 4 weeks later and beating them to go to the state championship game was neat to see our kids just kind of battle through that adversity. And it was great for our community and great for our players and great for our coaching staff. It was just a unique situation.
The reigning champs will be circled on everyone's calendar this season, and the players are ready to get everyone's best shot.
It just gives us motivation, you know what I mean? We like when we have a target on our back. We like when people after us because it just makes us go harder, makes us go better. It just showed them that we the best for real.
Myrtle Beach returns one of the best quarterbacks in the state and country in Luke Doty. The USC commit has many strengths and is very hard for opponents to game plan against.
He's a guy who can beat you throwing the ball. He can a guy that can beat you running the football, which is very unusual. You know, a lot of times it's one or the other. So he has those intangibles and those skills to beat you both ways. So that makes him neat.
On offense, plenty of new running backs and receivers will dot the field for the guys in green, including Socastee transfer J.J. Jones, who is getting D1 looks.
It's just a great environment over here, great family-friendly environment, and it's a great formation to be in. Me being a receiver with this air raid offense, it's a great opportunity for me to show out what I got.
On the defensive side, they are quite young and inexperienced, but still have plenty of athletic ability. Coach Wilson is eager to see what they can do over the next few weeks.
Really got some great guys over there that are coming up from our junior varsity program that have done a great job in the weight room this summer. So just, you know, need some experience, need to get out on the field a little bit, play a little bit. So that's one of the reasons we're excited about our scrimmages and the jamboree, is as far as just getting out there and getting some experience with those guys.
Now, the Seahawks will open the season at the end of the month, August the 30th to be exact, when they travel to Charleston to battle Hanahan.
There may have not been a bigger surprise in our area last season than the turnaround in year number 2 under head coach Donnie Kiefer for the Green Sea Floyd's Trojans, taking a team that used to be kicked around all the way up to the top of the mountain. Derek has more with those Trojans.
In 2018, the Green Sea Floyd's Trojans transformed themselves from an afterthought in 1A to the Kings of the Hill, winning their first state title in school history.
I really don't think they realize it yet, but we are 1A state champions, and it's really a chief goal that we've been reaching since we were young kids. Rec ball, we've been reaching it, we've been thinking about it, and we finally did it last year.
The Trojans dominated the final portion of the season, winning 9 of their last 10 and their last 6 a combined 312-77. But Coach Kiefer will be the first to tell you that page needs to be flipped.
Being state champions is a big deal, and I hope it means a lot to them. I know it does, but you know, now we've got to face the reality. It's a new year. You know, we were the 2018 state champions. This is the 2019 season. I mean, obviously we know that we have a target on our backs and targets on our fronts, and you know, everybody's coming after us. Everybody's going to want to beat Green Sea.
If that's the goal, it's not going to get any easier for 1A football in 2019. Trojans returned 15 starters, and that includes 2-year starter at quarterback Bubba Elliott and 2018 1A State Player of the Year at running back Jaquan Dixon.
He's just a great player, very athletic. Sometimes when I hand him the ball off, I already know he's going to score, so I'll be in the background just holding my arms up.
I love it. I love it. I just like seeing people hating me on the field. They get mad over like one easy juke or whatever, and they're like, "I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you now." And I'm like, "I'm here, bro. I'm here." and they never touched me, so I just keep going at it.
The playmakers return for the defending champs. The only question that remains for Coach Kiefer and the Trojans is that hunger still there.
One thing that I've found over the years is that it's sometimes it's easier to get up to the top than it is to stay there, because when you're down and you haven't been winning, you've got that hunger. You got something to prove and you're hungry, and we don't want to just be a flash in the pan. You know, like, oh, Green Sea had that one good year, and now they're back to normal. We want to continue a tradition that is long lasting, not just have a good team once in a while, but we want to have a great program.
The Trojans will get that chance to repeat starting on August the 23rd in a Week 0 away contest against West Columbus. Their first home game will be against Hannah Pamplico the following week, a team that handed the Trojans a 28-12 loss in 2018.
Head coach Neil Mitten has become used to success at Florence Christian Academy since taking over 7 years ago. He's won 2 state titles and over 70 games, with the second title coming last season, and a good core returning with their sights set on a repeat and much more in 2019. The Florence Christian Eagles entered 2019 as the defending state champions in SCISA 2A, a season that is still taking time to sink in.
You know, I don't think I've heard people talk about it much at all. I mean, it's obviously we're proud of that, but you know, I've said this before, that's just a byproduct of what we're trying to do. You know, we try to do things in a Christ-like manner and do things to the best of our ability, and we try to work hard and get better every day. And if you do those type of things, you put yourself in situations to win championships sometimes.
Now, Coach Mitten is being modest. The Eagles ended their season on a hot streak, which culminated in a 49-6 final win in Columbia. And even with the loss of star running back Eli Brayboy, the confidence in a repeat is there for FCA thanks to a strong core of seniors coming back.
We have a great group of seniors, and I've coached most of them since the 6th grade. So that, you know, I have a lot of confidence in them, and I feel like they have a lot of confidence in me. I think we have a good relationship. You know, they work real hard. This is not a star-studded class. This is a blue-collar, work their butt off class, and they've proved that over the years.
The Eagles return 16 total starters, 8 on each side of the ball, with the offense building steam after a strong summer and a good group up front to lean on.
As dominant as we think we can be up front, we still have some skilled players that we can spread out and do some things. So we're excited about the possibilities if we stay healthy, what we can do.
We're becoming older, and we're learning the plays better and learning how we can use different people in different areas. And it's just helping the offense, giving another dynamic to it.
While the bar for outsiders might be set on a repeat, Coach Mitten is more focused on the journey rather than strictly the hardware at the end.
I don't think it's ever state championship or bust. I mean, you don't have to win the game to win at life. You know, I mean, if I don't ever win another game as a coach, that'll be fine. But if I have one of these kids never call me when they're in trouble, or never lean on me, or don't want me to, they don't pray for me, then I've done a terrible job. So if we win, it'll be awesome. Back-to-back titles is a great accomplishment for them, and yes, great on the resume and on the gym wall on the banner. But the reality of it is the journey to get there. That's what I'm excited about, and I think we're gonna have a fun year.
Now, the Eagles' last bid for a repeat came up 1 game short as they finished as runner-ups in 2014 against Northwood after winning that title in 2013. This season, Coach Mitten's group will get the year started August 23rd at Porter God School before a home opener in Florence against Kings Academy.
We must take our first break. When we return, a look at all of our new coaches across the Carolinas, PD and Grand Strand, when the Blitz Preview Show returns on News 13. With each new season comes changes to coaching staffs around the viewing area.
It's very true. In this offseason, it just seemed like we had a little bit more than normal. So let's introduce you to some of those new faces that are leading the programs in our area this year. We'll start in Darlington as Raymond Jennings will lead the Falcons in Region 6-4A. He was hired at the end of January and was most recently the defensive coordinator at Lugolf Elgin, and before that, the head man at Ridgeview High School. So he brings certainly a wealth of experience at Darlington as well as enthusiasm as they aim to turn the corner in 2019.
Matthew Richard takes over at Carvers Bay after Nate Thompson served in that role for nearly 2 decades. Richard actually played for Thompson back in the day. He's been a part of the Bears staff for about 10 years and is more than capable of handling this proud program. Last season, the Bears went all the way to the 2A lower state championship game before falling to Barnwell.
Pretty cool story there. A man with many ties now to the PD, Ron Baker, is now in charge of Lake City High School. That's exactly where he got his start in coaching. But about 2 decades ago, Baker was at Timmonsville last season, and he is originally from Turbyville. Baker will look to lead the Panthers back into the 3A playoffs this fall.
The 2017 state champion Lamar Silver Foxes turned to Chirac grad Chad Wilkes to lead their program after Corey Fountain left for a job in the upstate. Wilkes was part of C.E. Murray the last 2 seasons and enjoyed plenty of success. And now he's armed with keeping Lamar a power in the South Carolina High School League Class 1A ranks.
Bobby Collins now is the guy at Marlboro County, replacing the legend Dean Boyd, who went to his alma mater of York High School to coach. Collins spent the last 5 seasons in the Midlands at Lancaster High School, taking them to the playoffs last fall. And last season, the Bulldogs went 7-4, made the second round of the Class 4A playoffs.
In the Grand Strand, Marty Jacobs is replacing Doug Illing at Socastee High School. The Braves just 1-7 in 2018 after a playoff appearance in 2017. So Jacobs has his work cut out for him. He spent time on the Braves staff along with a stop at Ainer, so he knows Horry County football and what will it take to compete in the tough Region 6 5A.
Now at Timmonsville, Thomas McFadden moves up from coaching at the middle school level to the high school level. McFadden is a Whirlwind grad and helped them win a state championship back in the 90s. Even better, he coached the majority of these kids on the roster beginning in middle school, so there was already plenty of familiarity on both sides.
And a couple more changes to announce. Christian Academy of Myrtle Beach has Brandon Easton taking over for Matt Adams, who is still the athletic director. Georgetown's Brian Coleman is the interim coach in 2019. Randall State is now the Marion Swamp Foxes head coach. Quinn McCollum left to join the Marlboro County staff.
All right, we need to take another timeout here. Coming up, Chris and I break down the top teams in the area wide across the Carolinas. That's coming up after the break. Welcome back to the show. It's time now to take a look at the teams that we think are going to click and have a lot of success in 2019.
Many of those were superb too in 2018 and look to take a step even further this fall.
Now our rapid fire top 10 teams begin in Class 5A with Carolina Forest. Coach Morris and the Panthers, they finished last season 8-2 with a second round exit, but they returned 16 starters with good depth and experience on both the offensive and defensive lines, not to mention East Carolina commit Mason Garcia coming back under center, as well as his running mate, David Leggett.
Can't leave out the defending state champion Myrtle Beach Seahawks, ranked #1 in the first South Carolina media poll, and for good reason. Quarterback Luke Doty will engineer that high-flying offense. There are some question marks on defense with the graduation of some key contributors, but no doubt they should be a lock to get back into that postseason.
To 4A now, Coach Derek Howard and the Wilson Tigers, they certainly brought a lot of swag back to the PED with their turnover chain and excitement on the sidelines in 2018, along with that aggressive defense. But they had 13 starters coming back. They should be in for a strong season coming off that 6-6 campaign. A strong and committed senior class will be returning, as well as junior quarterback Zayshawn Rice, who had over 2,000 yards of total offense last season.
Across the border to North Carolina, the Scotland County Fighting Scots in 4A. They have been to the state finals now in back-to-back seasons, last year making a memorable run before falling at Duke University. They've got 15 starters back, so the experience factor is there, coupled with plenty of team speed, and if they stay healthy, they'll be in contention for the playoffs and a run back to the state finals.
Let's move to 3A now. We all know this team right here. You got to go with the Dillon Wildcats. With Jackie Hayes putting on that headset, the Cats, they will always be a state contender. But then throw in the experience they have with Jay Lester, Nemo Squire, Taekwon King, Amari Huggins, Bruce, and then on and on, plus the chip on their shoulders after coming up short in 2018. Everyone else, they might just want to get out of their way this fall.
All right, my next team is in 2A with the Hannah Pamplico Raiders. Jamie Johnson has come in and turned this program around over the last 3 years. An early playoff exit in 2018 has these guys behind me here pretty hungry to get back. They've got Jaheim Wilson, Jalen Jenkins, and others leading the charge. The red and black certainly feel good about their shot at maybe getting a regional title. Green Sea Floyd's is ranked second in the first state poll this fall. That has irked the guys a little bit. As we mentioned earlier, a good chunk of that team is back, and they play a very competitive schedule, which will get them ready for the postseason. Donnie Kiefer is building something special in northern Horry County, and 2019 should be another fun season for the Trojans.
Lastly, in 1A, they might have a new coach, but that shouldn't have a negative impact on the Lamar Silver Foxes. The Foxes, they've had 5 double-digit win seasons since 2013 and have been to that state title each of the last 4 with 2 championships. This year, the Silver and Black will have 15 returning starters and a strong group in the trenches on top of their usual athleticism at those skill positions.
All right, we got to hit the pause button, but coming up, a look at the top players from across our area this fall. That's all next on the Blitz Preview Show.
Welcome back. It's now time for our top players segment. This guy certainly is in our top 10 to watch in 2019, and just so happened that he was making his college decision on Thursday. Of course, we're talking about Conway defensive lineman Tonka Hemingway. And after thanking the city of Conway, the school, and family and friends, Big Tonka reached into that golden green box and pulled out that Gamecock hat over North Carolina, Duke, and others. Hemingway finished last season with 20 tackles for a loss. And that goes along with 3 sacks, with the opportunity to do that again close to home at the next level in a family environment that was just too good to pass up.
Yeah, it just felt like home. Every time I went up there, it just made me feel at home. It felt like where I want to spend the rest of my 4 to 5 years at. It means a lot for my family. My family will be able to come watch me more and easier. That just means a lot. It's a lot of pressure on me. I had it built inside, but yeah, I'm really excited.
Others to watch, we said his name already numerous times today, Myrtle Beach quarterback Luke Doty. We know he's gifted for either running or passing, but Coach Wilson is really impressed with how much of a leader he has grown into over the last year.
We've touched on him a lot. We are just blessed this season with quarterbacks near the beach. Carolina Forest will be sending out their own FBS commit with Mason Garcia. The senior shows excellent poise, decision-making, and mobility and should be a focal point of the Panthers offense this fall.
In the PD, Wilson quarterback and athlete all over the field. Zyshawn Rice, just a junior this season, but he'll make an impact both with his legs and his arm. He gained valuable experience as a sophomore and can carry the load on offense to make the Tigers playoff contenders.
For Dillon, they have a lot of weapons. They plan on being balanced on offense this season, though, and if you head to a game, keep your eyes on big Amari Huggins-Bruce, the 3-star junior. Finished last season with 930 yards to go along with 12 touchdown catches. Will be one of quarterback Jay Lester's favorite targets once again this fall.
The state's 1A player of the year, the reigning 1A player of the year, Green Sea Floyd's running back Jaquan Dixon. He helped the Trojans win that state title, amassing around 2,000 total yards on offense. He is quick, he is strong, and extremely hard to bring down in that open field.
And we got to give the defense a little bit of love in this as well. Up to Hartsville, yet another FBS product for the Foxes with linebacker Kayvon Hagler. Hagler was all over the field for Hartsville in 2018. He currently holds 8 Division I offers according to 247 Sports, and that includes one of the SEC's schools in the Tennessee Volunteers.
In Class 3A, Sherrod wide receiver Jalen Coit, the speedster, he's getting Division I looks. Last season amassed over 1,000 all-purpose yards, and he had 13 touchdowns for the Braves. He averaged nearly 19 yards a grab, so when he is loose on the field, that is bad news for the opposition.
Lastly, for our area players to watch, a name may not know just yet, but you're going to be seeing a lot during our Blitz preview shows. I have a feeling for at least during the season. Johnsonville quarterback Savion Graves. Graves will be entering year 2 as a starter for Coach Cribbs and should form a dynamic duo with fellow senior wide receiver Isaiah Brown.
Well, Hartsville lost Clemson commit and defensive lineman DeMonte Capehart. He transferred to IMG Academy in Bradenton, Florida to play his final season before college. He would have been one of our top players. The 4-star recruit will be missed in the PD as the Red Foxes prepare for life without him.
Miss seeing him every day, miss talking to him every day. He felt like that was the best interest of him, so we're going to support him in doing that. In terms of his production, well, we have kids playing defensive line, and it's up to them to execute the position.
Time for our final break. Up next, a look at how Myrtle Beach youth football has shaped some of the stars of today, and we'll speak with our new sponsors and partners for the 2019 season in just minutes on the Blitz Preview Show.
Well, the players on the field had to start somewhere, and a number of those recently, like stars Hunter Renfro, Everett Golston, and many others, began playing in the Myrtle Beach Youth Program. Recreation Program Supervisor Kurt Gallion and his team's goal was to instill that love of the game at an early age.
We take that big picture approach. We're not focused on winning and losing right now. That'll take care of itself, but we want them to develop that love for the sport. But we've just made that commitment to sacrifice everything for Friday nights, and it's worked. And teaching the kids fundamentals, our coaches have bought in, parents and players, so we're very happy.
And here are some of the big games in Week 0 on the Grand Strand. Conway travels to North Myrtle Beach next Thursday. Lakeview and Hannah-Pamplico. That should be a great one yet again. Lake City heads to Wilson. Lamar and Hemingway in a battle of Class A powers, and Mullins and Latta in the first of 2 meetings against each other. And before we say goodbye, we would like to welcome August Mize into our studios.
Hi, thank you for having me.
She is a representative for the Carolina Trust family. They will be our partners and sponsors here on News 13. We're really happy to have them on board. So first off, August, tell us a little bit about the Carolina Trust your company and things and what you guys do for the community.
Yeah, so Carolina Trust, for starters, we're a not-for-profit financial cooperative. So unlike a bank, all of our profits go back to our members instead of to stockholders. Okay. And whether, we're volunteering in the schools or donating to numerous service organizations or helping first-time borrowers with home loans or auto loans, we really are dedicated to putting people ahead of profits at Carolina Trust, and we really do stick true to the credit union philosophy, people helping people.
Along those lines, since we're here for the Blitz, we're here for football. What for you and for Carolina Trust really makes you excited about high school football?
Yeah, so we're really excited. Pretty much we know that sports really bring a community together, and we're so proud that we're going to have the honor to, share the success with so many teams as they celebrate Player of the Week, with their players and all of the success that they're having on the field, and, their hard work's really showing off.
Now, your favorite high school football team in the area?
Well, Carolina Trust, we've got a soft spot in our heart for Luke Doty at Myrtle Beach High School. So, of course, we're really looking forward to seeing him perform, but we're really looking forward to all of the teams and, watching these young athletes really show off on the football field and, put all their hard work to time for the game.
I want to thank August for joining us here, and we want to thank the Carolina Trust for being our partners and sponsors again for this 2019 season. So thank you. I want to thank Derek, and we want to thank you for watching our 2019 High School Football Blitz Preview Show. Hope you have a great night, and we'll see you next time here on News 13. Thanks again for watching.